you're just like a rock star. My girl.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Rocket League Trading Prices. Today, I'm going to be going through all the scamming methods that I know of, that people are using to steal credits off other traders. Some of these scams can be very difficult to notice too, and that's how I managed to lose 10,000 credits once. Also, please consider subscribing and leaving a like on the video. It doesn't take long and you can always unsubscribe later. Thank you. Just quickly, before we get started, we would like to thank the sponsor of the video, Awaya. Do you ever find you don't have enough credits to buy all your favourite Rocket League items? And you don't like how most items from the shop are insanely overpriced and untradeable? Well, with Awaya you can buy credits and almost any item for reasonable prices, which will quickly and securely be delivered to your account. The link to Awaya's website is in the description of this video. And make sure to use our discount code RLTrading at checkout to get 6% off your order. First of all, we will start off with the most common scam in Rocket League, which is, in my opinion, the cert swap. Let's say you're trading for a white mainframe. You're offering a decent amount and you're quite desperate to get the trade because it's your favourite decal. Someone finally accepts your offer, you invite them to a game to trade with them, and it turns out they have a striker white mainframe. And at this point, if you're not familiar with the scam, you will be getting pretty excited. So you put in all your items and credits, and whilst you're distracted, the striker white mainframe will be swapped for a standard striker mainframe. And you accept, because you see the striker and forget about the colour, meaning you've just lost yourself a lot of credits. This can happen with a wide range of items, from other painted mainframes, to painted June Racer decals, to painted Helios, and pretty much anything else that can be painted. All we will say is you should double or even triple check the item you're receiving as the trade is going through, just in case you're about to be scammed. A very similar scamming method with a slightly different technique is the paint swap scam. When in a Rocket League trade, after a certain amount of items have been added into the trading inventory, the items change from showing the colour in words to showing the colours by a little painted bar that covers the top right corner of the item, and this is where the paint swap scam comes into play. From a quick glance, titanium white and grey look very similar, therefore scammers will often try and swap a white item for a grey one, which is usually worth a lot less. This can also happen with crimson items being swapped for burnt sienna, which I have been seeing recently with octanes. Luckily, I am usually ready and constantly checking the trades and don't get tricked often. But if you're unconcentrated and rushed, that's when you will most likely fall for a scam. Before we carry on with more scams, I would like to give a shout out to Duck, who is a member on our Discord server who straightforwardly just loves ducks. He is the one who put this list of scams together and is the reason we have made this video. We would also like to thank our two moderators, Mo and Bruno, for helping out on the server too. If you are not a member of our Discord server yet, you should definitely join it, because it's a lot of fun chatting to the other subscribers and the owners of the channel, and we also give trading tips to you guys over there too. There is a link in the description which you can use to join. Another very common technique used is the blueprint scam. This is where scammers will use blueprints or other cheap items like painted limiteds to distract you in a trade, and whilst you're distracted, they will simply just take out the item you're trading for, or, which is even more difficult to notice, they will combine this technique with the paint swap scam. Basically, like every scamming method we talk about in this video, just be alert and ready for anything anyone can do to you, and you will be fine. A good way of spotting this scam is if someone adds any items you weren't expecting to get. Almost no one gives free items in Rocket League. The scam that has the most potential of taking a lot of credits away from you is the fake middleman scam. I personally have never come across this, mainly because I've always used middlemen that I know are legit, and have been trusted doing their job for a long time. But if you don't choose who the middleman is, and you don't really know much about it, it is likely that this so-called middleman is actually a friend of the guy who you're trading with, and they will both just run off with all your items, credits, or even real money. Ours and Duck's advice with this is to always just use trusted middlemen, and if you are unsure in any way at all, don't go through with it, it's not worth the risk. The reason this scam has the most potential of taking a lot of value off you is because usually middlemen are only used for trades that include a lot of items or credits. Two very obvious and quite common scams are when people say they have skyline codes, and also when people say 1v1 me for a white fennec, but you need to pay 100 credits to enter. We would hope that everyone watching this video can instantly see that these are scams. There is no such thing as a skyline code. It was a DLC car and is completely unobtainable from a code, so do not fall for it. And the 1v1 me strategy, they will literally just take your 100 credits and leave. But I have seen sometimes where scammers actually play the 1v1, and if they lose they will leave. But if they win, they will try and tempt you into playing again. Don't get stuck in this cycle. When you do finally beat them, they will just leave. Now, the scam that actually tricked me once was the RLCS decal switch. They will simply swap, for example, a white RLCS Octane decal for a white RLCS Breakout decal, like what happened for me. This was back some time ago, when the white RLCS Octane was worth 11k and rising, and the Breakout was worth 1k. Because the pictures of the two items are the exact same, you have to watch out very closely. In the moment, I was distracted, probably making a video and also deciding whether or not to do the trade, and it just caught me off guard. It just proves that it's so easy for scammers in Rocket League. The problem is, they don't get banned for it. Epic brought in all these new trading restrictions, which were partially to reduce the amount of scammers in the game. But the only way to get rid of them for good is to ban them. One scam that a few months ago was so commonly done, but now seems to have died out a little, is when someone asks you to put in your items and cancel on 0, so they can get a good screenshot for a YouTube thumbnail or something like that. When the trade gets accepted and starts counting down, the scammer will spam you with invites, which will cover up the cancel button on the trade, meaning you can't click it, so the trade goes through and you lose your items. This only applies to PC players, since, on the consoles, the invites show up in the top corners, so thankfully it is only usually PC players who can be scammed through this method. The final main trading scam in Rocket League that I know of at the moment involves two scammers, and it's actually quite a clever trick, which has scammed a lot of people before. Basically, the first scammer will go through their inventory and find a random item, like a juggler burnt sienna blueprint gizmo decal or something so specific that it's actually quite rare, and they will list that they are selling it for way more than it's actually worth. Then, the next scammer will post that they are paying more than what the first scammer is asking for. They will say something like they need it for a collection, meaning people will go to the first trade, pay a stupid amount for this worthless item, thinking they are going to sell it on instantly for more, when actually, they will just run off with your credits and you'll be left with a junk item. Just one last thing, for all Steam players, don't follow any links sent to you unless it's a message from a friend or something, because fairly often it's a dodgy link that will just not be nice for your computer or laptop, and some of them will even affect you when playing the game. I haven't come across this one before because I don't use Steam, but apparently it is quite common, so watch out for that. Thank you for watching. If you found the video helpful, please consider subscribing.